So, wow, this migrant children situation has really exploded. The hysteria is pretty crazy. On social media, it's a lot of talk going on there. So let's talk about this for a minute. I didn't hear that much about this last week, and it's just a little piece of anecdotal evidence. I don't normally do this, but I turned it to MSNBC in the morning on Monday, and this was all they were talking about. And I thought that was strange, and then now this thing has exploded. So I assume that the media, as they're wont to do, is in lockstep to push this thing, and now we're talking about it. Lo and behold, we're talking about it here. Couple things. I'm glad people care about children. I'm not sure that this policy is a good policy to separate children. It seems to be that there's this sort of moral basis of attack against the Trump administration for not caring about children. Yet the administration says that they are processing, only the families and the children who are with families that attempted to cross illegally. The ones that show up at the designated places and try to seek asylum are not these children. Maybe that's true, maybe that's not. I don't know. But of all the information I've heard from the people who are against the Trump administration, I haven't heard them say anything different. So also, they're wanting to, and the reason they're actually going to process these kids is, for one, their parents did commit a crime. I mean, I think that's, it is actually a crime. I know people have a hard time with this, but it is a crime. And that's kind of normal. And also, there's this thing called child trafficking, human trafficking that's going on. And they're wanting to make sure, and this is what the administration says, that the children that are being brought across the border, all these people's kids. That seems like a fair and reasonable concern. Doesn't seem like these facilities are that terrible, and it doesn't seem to match the hysteria that's going on. And that's my position. I don't think it's a ridiculous position. And it's interesting because people are couching this as a moral issue, as if you don't care about children. The Trump administration doesn't care about children. And I just have to ask, where were all these people with all this concern? And now, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of people who have concern that are right here with me on this issue. But I have to say that there's a lot of people and organizations, especially the media organizations, right, that not only say nothing about Planned Parenthood that murders children, but actually support Planned Parenthood. I'll give you an example. I get hit with an NPR article, and that says, explains why this policy is a terrible thing that the Trump administration is doing. Well, I get on NPR and I see that they ran a story last week that talked about how it's a terrible thing that the Trump administration wants to defund Planned Parenthood. Well, which is it? Do they care about children or not? I have to understand this. I cannot grasp how people can take their marching orders, gin up this concern for children based on information coming from a place that supports murdering children. Pure and simple. They support murdering children. Not only do they support the existence of the organization, they want to fund it. They look at it so necessarily that even to lower the funds that it gets is a terrible thing. We have to fund Planned Parenthood, this story said. And it's a terrible thing if we lower the amount of money going to Planned Parenthood. Why are we as taxpayers supporting murdering children if it seems to be very apparent to everybody? This issue shows this, that we care so much about children. And so instead of being overly critical, which I guess I was a little bit critical there, I would just ask, how about this? How about we all get this concern that we have for kids and we say, no more supporting Planned Parenthood. No more murdering children. If we care about separating a child from its mother, you cannot support Planned Parenthood. These children with the immigration scenario are going to facilities. The justification seems reasonable. The average time being spent there is 2 months, and then they're back with their families, from what I read. If you're killed, if the little baby is mutilated in its mom, they are forever separated from their mom, at least in this plane of existence. So that seems to me to be a bigger issue that the people who care about the immigration issue haven't really shown as much attention toward. And so I would just say, let's focus on Planned Parenthood now. Okay? Let's do that. No more baby killing. How about that?